So while I've always been a huge fan of both the cleanliness and control you get over your brew with a Chemex, the one fatal flaw that I have found with this particular setup is that people never want to take the time to untie the leather and remove the wooden collar to run it through the dishwasher. And you can see on my friend's Chemex here that I borrowed for the video, if you do run the whole thing through the dishwasher, you end up completely ruining the leather. But then it's also very easy for a piece of glassware this big to get knocked over on a drying rack when you hand wash it, especially with small children in the house. Which is how I ended up with the setup that you see here, this V60 atop a smaller piece of glassware. While these can both easily go in the dishwasher, and as such have thus far avoided any drying rack misfortune, I can't help but feel that I've arrived at somewhat of a clumsier setup than just going with a one-piece solution. So earlier this month, just as I was considering shelling out another $50-something for my third Chemex in the past 5 years, I stumbled upon this 27-ounce pour-over coffee maker for just over $20. My first thought was that this price was too good to be true, but at the same time, how bad could a knockoff be for this sort of thing? And considering I wasn't finding a comparable 6-cup Chemex anywhere shy of $47, I decided to roll the dice on this product. So 5 days later, this thing showed up on my doorstep, and it was time to unbox. So aside from these crafty little open me and thank you stickers, the first thing that you find inside is this cork insulation ball, which is particularly useful if you're a solo brewer like myself, and you frequently spend all morning to finish 3 to 4 cups. But there's also this very durable stainless steel filter you see here with a nice rubber grip on the side. Now, I've always been of the opinion that one of the primary reasons for using a Chemex-type brew method is that you can extract a much cleaner tasting cup, due in part to the somewhat heavier filter papers, as compared to using a French press or something like that, where you end up with a bit more of the grounds getting through. So while I'm not likely to get a ton of use out of this, it is quite nice that I have it around for when I inevitably run out of filter papers. And the build quality along with this rubber handle do make it feel very premium. So while trying to figure out where the cost savings are coming from in the production of this thing, I even went so far as to measure the thickness of the high borosilicate glass that they're using, which measures about 1/8 of an inch, a similar thickness to the glass found on the Chemex. Functionality-wise, they both have this U-shaped spout, which in addition to providing for a very uniform flow rate, allows you to easily dump out any preheating water while still keeping the filter in there, in case you're looking to eliminate any paper filter taste before your brew. As I start my bloom here, you can see that my standard Chemex bonded paper filter sits just where it needs to be. And if we skip ahead a bit, it appears that we've got more than enough room for the 240 grams of water at our halfway point, which is approximately half of the 480-gram brew that I ended up doing today. There's also this cool design choice with the way they've formed the glass along with these milliliter markings, which I found to be somewhat accurate, but can be slightly awkward to read as they're printed on a sloped angle. But aside from that, and considering the exceptional quality of cup that I got while pairing this with a Chemex filter, I'd say that overall, I'm pretty darn happy with the purchase. As always, the link is in the description, and if you've made it this far, please consider subscribing and clicking that bell so you don't miss any upcoming reviews, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.